Good evening everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Ramesh Khan and I am a filmmaker and a film critic. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite films of all time, the film which made me want to become a filmmaker, The Departed of 2006.
There is a leak from the inside. It's real, man. Smoke him out.
You're lying to me.
There are things you don't want to know about.
What are you waiting for, honestly? I mean, do you want him to chop me up and feed me to the poor? Is that what you guys want?
When I walked out of the theater as the credits of The Departed rolled, I told myself that I want the audience to feel the same way I was feeling. I wanted to make a film which made people feel the way I was feeling. It was an avalanche of emotions, man. Wonder, amazement, and appreciation. I just couldn't believe that a film this perfect and this amazing could be made. It's a pulse-pounding thriller that never drops your pulse. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be a bit longer of a review as this is one of my favorite films. This film is directed by Martin Scorsese, who is a legend of cinema, off the screen and sometimes on the screen. This film is a remake of 2002 Hong Kong film Infernal Affairs, directed by Andy Lau, if I'm not mistaken. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, and Jack Nicholson, but it also boasts a spectacular supporting cast with Martin Sheen, Mark Wahlberg, Alec Baldwin, and Anthony Anderson. Scorsese directs all these people in the greatest cop drama of all time as far as I'm concerned, and the subgenre of this film is the gangster film. The film tells the story of William Costigan, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, as a cop who is sent to be a mole, an informant in a criminal outfit run by Frank Costello, played by Jack Nicholson. And Matt Damon is Jack Nicholson's mole in the police system. This film takes place in Boston, which is the coolest movie city of all time, as amazing stories take place in the movie world of Boston. And it's also worth noting that the character of Frank Costello is totally based off of Whitey Bulger. We all know of Martin Scorsese's narrative with the Oscars, how he never won one until The Departed. And I think he won the Oscar for Best Director for The Departed because of how different and un-Scorsese The Departed is. The story is undoubtedly Martin Scorsese, but the visual aspect, the visual aesthetic of this film is not. This film features really crisp cinematography and hard cuts, unlike his previous films, which were kind of flowy when it came to camera work. This film doesn't have any freeze frames with people narrating over them. This film is not a flash forward like Goodfellas or Casino. This is a very un-Scorsese film. What also intrigues me is how every young character is searching for a father figure in this film. Both Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio are attracted to Jack Nicholson and Martin Sheen for guidance. Matt Damon easily has the toughest part to play in this film, as his moral compass is completely shattered and does not exist. And I love the parallels between both Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon and how we see them deal with problems. Leonardo DiCaprio uses his wit and his rage to get out of problems, whereas Colin Sullivan, Matt Damon, will wilt and start begging you for stuff. It's an amazing study of families where there are no families. Both Matt Damon's character and Jack Nicholson's Costello are struggling to have a kid. Leonardo DiCaprio's William Costigan wasn't really close with his father. He ended up hating him. Martin Sheen's son is away studying, so he fills that void in with Leonardo DiCaprio's character. It's all very fascinating stuff. Another thing I loved about this film is some facts I recently picked up because of my knowledge of film after my film degree. I love the X motif of this film. The letter X is always shown when a character is about to die. It foreshadows death. Death is getting nearer. The more X's you see, the nearer death is. I mean, look at this. It's direct homage to Howard Hawks' original film Scarface of 1932, I believe, which also had a similar motif of the letter X. But what's my favorite scene of this film? My favorite scene of this film just happens to be a foot chase. That scene just shows you what makes Martin friggin' Scorsese. He's been known to use a hodgepodge of techniques. A ton of techniques he's mastered and known because he's a film historian. And he just throws it all into this one scene. This scene has the lighting and production design of Blade Runner. The atmosphere starts off being from a porno and transitions into a film noir by Orson Welles, and it has the editing of MTV television. It's all fascinating stuff, man. Speaking of MTV editing, this is one of Scorsese's cuttiest films ever. It has about 3,000 edits, which range from 3 to 20 seconds long. I've seen this film way too many times to know that information. And if you've seen any Martin Scorsese film, you'll know that they're full of continuity errors. This film did win an Oscar for Best Editing as well. Why did it win that? Because Scorsese has been known to cut for performance. The continuity errors, as many and as big as they are, never take you out of the performance, which is a thing of beauty. I've been talking about aesthetic a lot in this film. Another thing I loved about the aesthetic of this film is the songs. They cut off abruptly. Songs were used as segues and transitions into the next scene. In this film, however, none of that. Songs cut off abruptly. Opening a door is enough to stop a song abruptly.
I'm a sailor pig, and I lost my leg!
Billy?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh my god.
Stop. Pull them off Costello. There's no need to surveil him.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I got it from an undercover.
And it's usually when a character is thinking about what he has to say and he's faced with a tough situation in front of him. There's just so much about this film that I can talk about, man. Scorsese is a true master of the craft and a true film historian, as he uses techniques he knows and loves and applies them to his own films. A true filmmaker doing what he knows best. This film is awesome, man. If you watch it, I guarantee you will not be disappointed. It has everything. It has Leonardo DiCaprio for the heartthrobs. It has Jack Nicholson for the old school fans. It has Matt Damon for people who love Good Will Hunting. Martin Sheen for people who love Apocalypse Now, more old school. It's a balancing act when it comes to the cast of old and new. It has Mark Wahlberg's best performance to date, and it's Martin friggin' Scorsese, a legend of cinema. Go watch The Departed. 5 out of 5, man. This is one of my favorite films of all time, and as I said, it's one of the 3 films that made me want to get into film school. Thanks for watching, everyone, and if you like this review, hit that free subscribe button. It's absolutely free. It's gonna cost you nothing to hit that button. And again, Happy New Year, people. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic 2016. I will be seeing you again a lot this year. Thank you so much.